the additional engagement with the local community. I think if the department and the local community can get this right, it will be an absolutely amazing demonstration of what can be done with Defence Estate and community access. So the first one is, can the department provide an outline of where the process regarding the disposal of Leeuwin Barracks is now up to?
Certainly. Steve Greshkoviak, Deputy Secretary, Estate and Infrastructure Group. So on the 4th of June 2015, there was an announcement that we would proceed with a disposal of Leeuwin Barracks. At the moment, we're in close negotiation with the town of East Fremantle over a master planning arrangement, and they've been really good in this space. You're probably aware that there's some land adjacent to the barracks, which I think is used as playing fields at the moment. And the idea is that we'll actually look at that land as well as the Leeuwin Barracks land together and master plan what the future should be for that area. And that will enable a much more productive redevelopment to be undertaken than if we just considered the barracks independently. So that master planning process is ongoing at the moment, and we expect that to complete around the end of this year. Then the next step will be to move into the actual sort of disposal options in detail.
So is the department reconsidering its disposal options? Obviously, given that the property market in Perth has changed substantially since this process started, and also obviously the community engagement. So from what you've said, master planning process will finish at the end of this calendar year?
That's what we're currently targeting.
Okay, so you will then rescope the initial parameters of the project in terms of disposal?
Well, clearly, what we end up with in the master plan will have an influence on how we'll proceed with disposals. There are still a range of options that are considered. We do have to get, once we've zeroed in on the preferred options, we have to go through a government approval process before we proceed. You'd be aware we've got a number of defence staff working at the barracks, and we need to find alternative accommodation. We have plans evolving for that at the moment. So all these things are in motion, and as we go through into 2017, we'll be able to crystallise the plan. We do take into account the property market at the time, and we have advisors that help us look at maximising value to the Commonwealth.
And one of the other concerns that was raised by state government members is that the level of engagement and the understanding of the state government approval processes, which I understand could take, so for any developer or anybody else or any other plans, it could take between 5 and 7 years to get the appropriate approvals through. So what engagement so far has been had with the state government, do you know?
Yeah, we are engaged with the state government. It can take, there can be lengthy periods at times, depending on what's going on. 5 and 7 years seems a bit longer than I would anticipate. I'd expect those processes to run through more quickly than that, but I couldn't give a time frame here because obviously there are other players involved in that negotiation. And
last question on Leeuwin Barracks. Have you had any feedback yet for how the public consultations are going?
My understanding is they're going well. They're being quite well received. We've made statements. One of the issues some members of the public and some former ADF members were concerned about was the recruit memorial, which is on the barracks, and we've said that as part of the heritage plan, we'll pay attention to that and make sure it's retained and properly factored into the redevelopment as a feature.
Thank you. That's very reassuring. Now, quickly.